And we're back. It's still the middle of February. It's still cold in the mornings, but it's not bad here in the afternoons. Right now it's like 71 degrees. So we got another project that we're working on as far as cutting board goes, and it's for Carl, Denise, and Micah out in Indiana. They've got a restaurant they call the Huddle. If you get a chance, go there. They've got great food. It's on the street side. But regardless, they wanted an end grain cutting board. We're making it out of 3 different types of wood. We're going to use walnut, and we've got some nice little sap contrast there. So I'll show you. I'll bring you in for a closer look here in a second. Some padauk and some rock hard maple. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll jump right into the glue up. Okay, so the first glue up is done, and we got it back from getting drum sanded. So the next step is to remove the runners. If you're not entirely sure why I put runners on it, I think it's in my Purple Heart cutting board video when we talk about that. It's kind of critical. When I say that, I mean in order to make sure that both sides, this side and this side, are parallel to each other. They're not like, it's not like that or twisted or anything like that. So that way we know that we have a nice flat surface to deal with, because we're going to cut these into strips and we're going to glue them together. If any of those aren't lining up right, that's where it's critical, because you're going to end up having misalignment with your stripes. I might just choose to do an offset anyway. I don't know. We'll play around with it once we get it cut into strips and see what it looks like. But if you're going to have success, especially on doing an end grain cutting board, you're going to want to make sure that your wood is always as straight as possible. There's no gaps in between your wood, because that will make a huge difference. And obviously you want it to look nice too, so you don't want to have to be putting wood glue in there or anything to fill any kind of gaps. All right, so let's remove the runners. Okay, so I'm going to have to square this end off using my skill saw here, my circular saw. My table saw doesn't have enough of an in feed for me to be able to cut it, because it's so wide. And then I would need to use my miter gauge, but my miter gauge is also not long enough too, and I can't use my crosscut sled. So I'm resorted to using the circular saw. I've got this set up as best I can. I got everything secured, so hopefully it won't move on me, and we'll just go ahead and cut this end piece off. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and cut these into 2-inch strips. 2-inch strips will be the width as we rotate them. That's how high they're going to be. So I cut this 2-inch strip off. I rotate it this way. It's going to be 2-inch thick. That's what the request was. So we'll go with 2 inches. And if I did my math right, I should have enough wood left over where it hits the required length. I think it was 17 inches if I'm not mistaken. So we'll find out. right, we wound up with nice straight lines. End grain is up. Looks very nice. We got some nice pattern going on. So yeah, we're going to stick with this. We'll do the glue up, and then it's on to the drum sander again. So as this is my first time trying to make a juice groove on a cutting board, I wanted to make sure that I didn't screw it up, because if there's another critical point in whenever you're trying to make a cutting board, as there is with end grain, there's several different stages that can be critical. A juice groove would be the same one. I've watched a few videos, and it seems like there's different techniques that you can use. One of them is completely boxing around the cutting board so that when your router goes around and the bit is engaging the wood, it'll stay uniform all the way around. But that just seems cumbersome. So then I thought, well, maybe if I just make a wall and I can eyeball it. No, you can't eyeball it. they don't come out right. They're not uniform. So I did come across another gentleman, and I cannot remember his name. I'm sorry, I apologize if you end up ever watching this video. But thank you for the idea. We'll try it out. I'm going to do a sample piece here again, but what I've done is I've super glued this piece here, which is about the right size dimension from the outside edge of this plate to the tip of the bit. We're going to try that. That'll work. So this is where I wished that I would have practiced more and discovered where you can go wrong doing it. What I discovered was, didn't see this as well as I should have, but there's a little notch right there. You can see it, that little notch. And as I was doing the board, and this side looks okay, right? Looks not too bad. There's a little bit of a gouge here. Luckily, this is for a family member. But when I caught that notch on the other side, that's what happened. Okay, so we had the minor disaster there. We're past that. This side turned out well. So now we need to bevel the edges like we do with all of our cutting boards in order to make it so it's easier to pick it up. So let's move on to that. Let's see what magic this has in store for us. Look at that. All right, this turned out quite beautiful. So let's talk about what you should and shouldn't do. What you should do is, when you notice it getting dry, apply some cutting board oil on it. Just keep applying it I'll put it on and let it sit for like 24 hours. And if it looks dry the next time, put some more on. You just keep doing that until it doesn't look dry anymore. You can put it on after, like your tool you're going to be using in your kitchen. You can just put this on at the end of the day. Once you get done cleaning it, just rub some of this on, let it sit overnight, wipe it off in the morning, good to go. I also suggest putting on some conditioner. The conditioner will help prevent liquids from penetrating the wood, so it'll help it from drying out so much and that kind of stuff. So what you shouldn't do, don't ever put it in the dishwasher. Never do that. That's a bad thing. Let's see what else. Try not to let liquids sit on it for a long period of time, like overnight, something like that. I mean, obviously during the day, if you've got conditioner and you've got the cutting board, the mineral oil on it, it should last you no problem. But this board will last you forever. All you got to do is just take care of it. That's it. But don't worry about chopping on it. Don't worry about slicing it. That's what it's intended to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more coats on this. It's going to take a few days because I'm going to put it on, let it dry or let it penetrate the wood overnight, and we'll just keep repeating that process until it can't take any more, and then it's off to you. So I hope you guys get a lot of great use out of it.